All right, guys. So I have a problem with my E450 motorhome. It's got the V10 Ford Triton motor in it. I didn't see much online about this problem, so I thought I'd post a video. Maybe it'll help somebody out. But what happened was, it ran great all day long. It was running great. And at a stoplight, I started hearing a knock in the top of the motor. The knock was interesting because it didn't correlate to the engine RPM. So I tried to Google the problem and not much stuff came up about it. So I thought I'd make a video and show you guys what the issue was, and hopefully it could help somebody else out, because this could be a thing where a shop or a dealership can charge you a lot of money where they don't need to. So here's what happened. This is the left side valve cover on the motor. Right underneath this inlet tube, I think that's a breather tube, there's a baffle, and the glue that holds it to the top of the valve cover let go, and this part was bouncing around in the top of the motor, and the valve train in the top of the motor, and it was making a lot of noise. It sounded like a really bad knock in the top of the motor. The way you can determine if that's your problem is if you look inside there and take the doghouse off of the motor, you'll hear your knock, and if you touch the valve cover, you can feel the knocking inside that valve cover on the left side. On the right side with the motor running, you can't feel any knocking at all. It sounds like a plastic on plastic knock, and like I said, when you rev the motor up, it doesn't necessarily increase the speed of the knocking. It just sounds like, well, almost like a walnut fell on the top of the motor is what it sounded like. And sure enough, when I pulled the valve cover off, that's what I found, is that baffle inside. So I got a new valve cover. I'll show you guys what the new one looks like. Looks like Ford made an improvement on the inside on how it's attached. So it doesn't look quite the same as the other one as far as the glue. So hopefully this one will stay attached a little bit better. It must have been a problem that they had a lot. So despite what anybody tells you, you can get the valve cover off of the motor without doing anything too major. There's good access from this side to get a lot of the bolts. There's good access from the hood if you take off the air cleaner and some of the wiring harness will just unplug. You can get it out of the way. And the key to getting this out was I had to loosen up the fuel rail and pull the fuel rail up a little bit on this side, and then I was able to remove the valve cover through the front of the motor, so out from under the hood. So I'm going to start to get this thing put back together, and then I will show you guys the finished product, and kind of hopefully if there's any tips I learn along the way, I can pass them on to you guys. Had I taken it to a shop, I think they could have easily told me the whole motor needed to be rebuilt, and I wouldn't have been able to say too much about it, because it sounded horrible. It sounded like the motor was coming apart, but I'll show you guys when I'm done. So here's a good look at the area with the new valve cover installed, all the wiring back in place, the fuel rail back secure before I put the intake back on. Kind of give you a good idea of some of the things that you're gonna have to move to get it out. So everything's back together. Got the valve cover back on. All my wiring is back together. The fuel rail is back in place. I've tested it out, changed the oil, and checked for leaks. I got no leaks. I got no noises, and everything seems to be good. So hopefully this helps somebody out as to what the possibility could be if you have an issue with the valve cover. Recently I have read some more stuff that same thing could happen to the right side underneath the valve cover on the right. So it could be an issue on the right or the left. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it could help you out someday.
And make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for more Fix-It videos, and comment down below if this helped you.